All right, happy Tuesday. I hope everyone had an amazing 4th of July holiday weekend. We're back at it. It's Tuesday, July 8th, and today we have an awesome guest speaker, Whitney Lloyd. Thank you for saying yes, Whitney. I'm so excited to introduce her, and we're going to jump in. She's going to share some of her story and her heart with us today, and then if we have a few minutes at the end, we might have time for some questions. So just a little bit about Whitney. Whitney actually lives in South Carolina. She's a mom of four. She's married to a worship pastor. She's a former first grade teacher. And now she's a homeschool mom. She's been in the business for 7 years and she hit QNMD last summer. And she's in her team is in the run for NMD hopefully this month. So Whitney has big things going on, but she still said yes. And I just know the company has featured her several times lately. Her momentum she's got going on for NMD is awesome. Come here, baby. And Whitney, I'm going to pass it to you. Why don't we just start with how Juice Plus was entered into your life, your story, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks, Emily, and thank y'all for being on today. So a little bit about our story. So we found Juice Plus 11 years ago. 11 years ago, I was a mom to my first two kids. So their ages now are 15, 13, almost 11, and almost 9. But 11 years ago, I was pregnant with my third, and I had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and we were struggling with chronic sickness. I think as a young mom, I thought it was normal to be in and out of the pediatrician's office all the time, it seemed. But we were just struggling with ear infections. My son had really severe asthma. He was on a daily inhaler. He also had eczema, the triad that usually comes together: eczema, asthma, seasonal allergies. My husband struggled with sinus infections. He is a worship pastor. So it was really hard for him because twice a year, when the seasonal allergies would be going on, he would lose his voice. And so I just found myself in a place where we were just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I just really began to pray because I knew how important nutrition was. And I felt like I was doing my very best to, feed the kids well, nourish our family well. But we were still frequent flyers at the pediatrician's office. So I began to pray, and that's when God sent a couple friends my way that said, hey, have you ever looked into Juice Plus? And so when I looked at it and I saw it has a food label, it has the clinical research, it was just like a no-brainer that this could only help us and be worth giving a try. So we jumped in as a family of four at the time, and I started using it as my prenatal with the third. And what was awesome is just within a couple weeks, the inflammation in my kids started to go down. The eczema cleared up, seasonal allergies went away, and really their sickness dissipated. I mean, we went from frequent flyers at the pediatrician to strangers, which was awesome and such a blessing. And my husband hasn't had a sinus infection in years. And I went on and used Juice Plus as a prenatal in my fourth pregnancy as well. And what's such a huge blessing is looking back, my third and fourth kids were the ones that I nourished my body with Juice Plus all the way through. And they did not ever have any of the chronic sickness, allergies, anything like that. And really, I don't even know that they've ever been on an antibiotic. I mean, they've just been so healthy. So that was 11 years ago. We've never looked back. After 3.5 years of loving Juice Plus, I was already sharing it with people just because, as y'all know, as moms, when you find something that's working and helping, you just want to help other people. So that's when I explored the partnership opportunity. I jumped in as a partner 7 years ago, and it's just been a really beautiful journey that the Lord has had me on as far as, I mean, the community, helping people, but then also the business and just being a provision for our family so that I can continue to be home with my kids, and just provide and give us options that we did not have before. And then now just to see, at the beginning, things moved really fast, but then our team found a stable, consistent plan that kind of works for us in building community. And it's just been a really beautiful journey to see how we can find joy in every season of our life and do it as we do life. and really serve people in a greater way. So that's our story and where we are.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I feel like your whoever signed you up on Juice Plus must have given you really awesome customer care if you were a raving fan for 3.5 years and then joined the business. Is that what you said? You were a customer for about 3 years?
Yeah, well, and it's really interesting because the person that I signed up as a partner with, she's not even really active anymore. So when I signed up as a partner, I didn't even know whose team I was signing up with. I had no idea what I was doing. I
Yeah,
just was wanting to get it like for the best price for a family of six. And I'm like, well, if I could help one or two people, this would help us cover the
yeah.
price. So it was totally God and placing me on. We were originally on Dr. Du Bois's team, now Sandy Leonard's team. So I love it's really cool to see how it all worked out.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. So when you initially said yes to the business, it was really just to get your family's Juice Plus at a better cost.
Yes.
Where do you feel like the turning point was of like, okay, I would love to like really be able to help more people and obviously now 7 years in on your
Yeah.
journey to NMD, like tell us a little bit about that.
I would say like when I signed up as a partner, we were at a place financially where we had a need too. And so when I signed up and my upline reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to talk and we could tell you like the opportunity?" I hit the ground running then. So I got to partner plus the first day, got to QSC the first week, got to sales coordinator in was it 10 weeks? Senior sales coordinator in 10 months. So we went really fast. And then I've stayed consistent with the business and everything. But as you guys know, depending on where you are, things ebb and flow. Life happens to your team. I've had partners come and go because of just family circumstances. So, but we've stayed consistent with our activity. And so yeah, I think getting to my first conference within that first couple months cast the vision. And then I caught it and just kept going.
Oh,
So
I love that. Okay, well, let's come back to that conference topic at the end of this call. I would love to touch on Indie and Juice Plus Live because I think that is so important. Okay, so talking about being consistent, let's like, it's always fun to kind of hear like everyone works their business in different ways, but what has kind of been your mojo in staying consistent and like creating momentum in this season?
yeah.
How are you working your business?
Okay. So when I first started, I had four kids under the age of six. So it looked different than it does now. But I would say at the beginning, I had to get up earlier. So I would get up before my kids and do my reach outs, do my connections, or schedule them out. And I stayed really consistent on social media during that season. That's where a lot of my growth came from. Then, as my kids have gotten older, they can be more independent. So, usually it's right after lunch is when I sit down and do business work. But I would say I encourage everybody, no matter if you've been doing this 7 years or 1 week, you've got to have a working list that you're working every day. So, like, I'm just always praying about wherever we are at the baseball field, dance, baseball, or I think you said baseball, soccer, all the activities, church, school, like who are the people in your life that God's placed around you? Start adding them to your list and look for opportunities to have conversations, look for the needs in their life, and how you can just be the best resource to them. So my biggest encouragement is you've got to have like a system, a list, people that you're talking to, following up with, inviting into events, doing all the things. And really from the beginning, no, like my upline had shared, if you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. Hobbies don't pay. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. And so from the beginning, it's just the income producing activities, which is having that list and figuring out what is your income producing lane, which at the beginning for me, it was mostly social media. I still am active on social media, but it moved to events. So having consistent events. So about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, um, we moved to a new home and I just felt God telling me like open the doors of your home and make a commitment once a month to host an event, because I just felt stagnant in a place with the business. So I made that commitment to do it for a full year and just see where it landed us. And that's where the momentum started going. So it was just once a month, I'd open my home and it just started engaging team customers. Then they started inviting. Now we do, then that turned into like twice a month, three times a month. And now they're doing events in their home. So I would just say it's finding that time that you can block off, working your list, and then finding the activities that are income producing for you and staying the course.
Okay, I love that. I'm putting some of this in the chat because I always like to get some notes. I
Yeah.
love that you're like, okay, just for a year, I'm going to do it once a month because it's so crazy how quickly that year went by. If you look at that, it's really only 12 events, but
Yes.
that's what it takes to create, team showing up and then partners showing up. I know in this season of post digital transformation, it's like getting people kind of re-engaged and connected back to the community. Olivia is wanting to share what she thinks about Juice Plus too.
Oh,
I
good.
know she all of a sudden has like, okay, let's not hit my computer. Um, okay, so what else can we share today? I'm like, I need to go back to my notes that I had with you, but
Yeah. And
um,
I would say too, just like setting measurable goals. That's what I had to come to, because if it's always on like your next promotion, or that's not a place of joy. And where I find the joy is saying, so like I can control one event a month. I don't know what's going to happen at the event, but I can do that. And I can do that once a month. And I think a lot of times we don't do our activity consistently for a long enough time to see the actual fruit from it. So that would be my encouragement, is just set a measurable goal, whether it's I'm going to have one conversation a day, I'm going to do this one event, whatever it may be, and just stick with it and say it out loud to Emily, your upline, because when you speak it out loud, it's so much more compelling and you have that accountability.
oh, I love that. I mean, it's all about sharing our goals with other people, or else you can get off the hook really easily. Okay, I know I didn't prep you for this question, but a lot of we will typically ask our guest speakers like where, if you look at your lines, like your structure of building for NMD, kind of walk us through who your lines are and like how you met that person or kind of how that relationship formed.
Yeah. Okay, so this is really cool too, because where we are right now, I didn't know any, I knew one of them when I first started. And I knew her because we were in student ministry before worship now. And she was like in our youth group from the time she was in sixth grade. So, but it's cool. So she was, I've known her since she was in sixth grade. She's a fitness trainer. So now she's one of my lines, and she lives in Florida, a mom of three. Her husband's in ministry, so a youth pastor. And then, um, okay, well, I guess one of them I knew, but she just joined 2 years ago. So we went to high school together. We were just Facebook friends. She reconnected with me through social media. So just because I was posting, that was 2 years ago. So she's a line in Atlanta. And then um, my other line is a friend from here. She's a dentist and she has several health professionals on her team. And we just met at church like maybe 5 years ago. And then the other line is a friend from here, a young mom. And we just met like 5 years ago at church. So those are my five. So it is interesting how I wasn't connected with them when I first started the business. It took a couple years before we were connected or
Yeah.
friends at all.
I love that. And I also like back to what you said too of just like praying that the Lord would like put people on your path, like the people you wouldn't even have thought of or even like
No.
didn't know before you started the business.
Yeah.
And it's the people who need it and are ready for it. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're
Olivia's
fine.
throwing mode. Um, okay. Does anyone have any questions for Whitney? There's one more question I want to ask that I also didn't really prepare you for, but what do you feel like you do in times of like setbacks or like I don't even necessarily want to say rejection, but just maybe when you had expectations that didn't go as planned, or you feel like you kind of have to like fire yourself and rehire, the ebbs and flows of
Yeah.
being an entrepreneur and being in business, whether it's Juice Plus or anything. What are your like go-tos to kind of rally yourself back into the game?
I think something I've learned is to give myself time to just rest, because it's amazing how we can be going, going, going and doing this and then get really discouraged or just tired, and giving yourself like just a weekend to put your phone down, or even if you need a week, and just rest and then rehire yourself or jump back in. So rest. Um, because a lot of people be like, oh, I'm just going to give up. I mean, you don't need to quit or stop. The only way to fail is to just stop. So just give yourself a couple of days to mentally rest. And then for me, it's like I love to run and exercise. So getting outside, just spending time with the Lord, asking the people closest to me to pray for me. Um, and then just starting back with the measurable activities that I can control. So we can't control our team as much as we want to. We can't control what other people are doing with their time, but we have control over how we spend our time. And so just and making sure that the people, even inside and outside the business, the people that you're spending time with are life-giving people. And there's been times when I've had to like prayerfully extend somebody, you know what I mean? Because you need your people that are closest to you cheering you on and supporting you in all the greatest ways. So,
Oh,
um,
so good. Yeah, I love all of that. Okay, Julie said in the chat, tell us a little bit about your events. What are some events that you're
yeah.
having? What's kind of working? What's fun?
So, I mean, I think like early on, I knew that like I want to do events that people want to go to and that I would want to go to. And most people are not going to want to just come to my house to hear about Juice Plus. So I'm like, okay, what are they going to want? So we do a ton of like tons of different kinds of events. The ones y'all are probably familiar with are salad in a jar. We do a lot of those. We do chop parties, which are really fun, where it's like everybody, I create a sign up genius. Everybody signs up for a vegetable and they bring enough for 5 to 6 servings. We all bring a cutting board and a knife and just chop together at my island and then go around the island. And everybody goes home with a gallon Ziploc bag of chopped veggies to roast. So no matter what event it is, we follow the same flow as far as we do something of value at the beginning. And well, I always welcome everyone and I pray. Then we do something of value. Then I have some sort of healthy snack. Then we sit in my living room and I share my story. Typically, I'll show one of the Bridging the Gap videos, and then I'll have 2 to 3 other partners share their story. And then I do a call to action and pass out order forms. I started the Bridging the Gap and the order forms last year, and
Hmm.
I saw a big
Hmm.
shift as far as getting orders at the events. So I think that was something good. But I mean, we've done like if there's something people want to learn how to make bone broth or, how to do like herbal infusions, just anything that I have one partner that loves making homemade lotions and candles and lip balm and all this stuff. So we'll just put our brains together and she'll teach something and then we, do the stories and all of that. But children's events are really fun, smoothie events. So it doesn't have to be complicated. Like I'm doing a salad in a jar tomorrow and people just love that because they go home with something. So yeah, just keep it super simple and something that you would enjoy.
Yeah, I love those ideas. I have always said, like, host an event that you would want to go to because number one, you'll be excited about it and you'll get people in the room.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask about order form, so I'm glad you touched on that. Do you typically, now with the new system, are you
Yeah.
building carts or are you still really sticking to order forms and then just helping them create their account?
That's what I do. So I still pass out like the 1 page order form at the very end. And I just say, I want to go over our product options for you. And I say, I take and recommend the quad and I explain what that is. I explain the healthy starts. And then I say, we have different bundle options to fit your budget. And then I basically just say, we'd love to get your order in make that commitment to yourself before you leave. So look this over, and we're here to help. And then everybody talks, and they usually come to talk to me or one of the partners there, and we'll just send them the cart link right there.
I love that. So easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're looking at the order form at bundle options, and then you'll send them the cart link, and then they're just filling it out like it's an electronic order form, essentially.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Like what I try to do is like, and my partners know, if you can get the order before they leave, it's
Yeah,
so much,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm like, just sit on the couch and go ahead and do it with them.
yeah. Yeah, I've done sourdough events, and even the people who are like,
Yes.
really interested in ordering, once they leave the event, it's so much harder to get their order in versus
Yeah.
when they're sitting right in front of you. So, okay, I love that. Does anyone have any questions for Whitney? I know we're probably not going to go the full 30 today. I was going to go over a couple of new things on boards, but Whitney, thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy
Yeah.
summer. She just got home from vacation and she said yes to doing this. So we'll have to return the favor to your team, but we'll be
Y'all are
cheering you
awesome.
on as your journey to NMD.
Thank
Um,
you.
does anyone have any other questions? You can pop in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself.
Guess what, Nana?
Oh,
S- Um,
Whitney, thank you so
you're welcome.
much. Your
Yeah.
principles and just sharing your heart has been so amazing. So we thank you so much. And we're going to be rooting for you for NMD.
Thank you. Thank
Hope,
y'all.
hopefully, we'll hear your speech in Indy.
Thank y'all. I
oh yeah,
appreciate it.
I'm so glad you brought that back up, Carrie. Okay, so Indy, just so everyone knows, go and get your ticket September 25th, 26th, and 27th. It's drivable here from St. Louis, so it is super easy to pack the car, get a hotel room, and kind of give us just your real quick your first conference, Whitney, like
Yeah.
that vision cat. Just tell us a little bit about your first conference and now your belief in like getting yourself there and your team there.
So my first conference was right after I hit QSC, and my husband and I went, which I think was also super powerful. Um, we both just wanted to see like, what is this about? And just from the first day, we realized, wow, like this is really quality, the people, the community. It's just something we can trust and really lean our ladder against. So I would just say there's nothing that replaces being there and experiencing the company, the leaders, the culture, the community. You can't recreate that anywhere else. So hearing that and experiencing it casts vision for yourself and your partners. And it's just the best investment you can do. Um, I mean, I always see the partners that invest and go to conference, their businesses have the most fruit as a result. So I would just encourage y'all to, I know it's hard when your kids are little and it's an investment of time and resources, but it will come back and you'll see the fruit from it. So,
Yeah, for sure. And once you go and you're in that room and you experience what you experience, you're like, how could someone ever put this in a Voxer chat or a
you
message or a
can't,
phone call?
yeah.
You can't. So getting there for sure. Okay, well, that is September 25th to the 27th. So get yourself there. And just to recap really quick, if you are not on the new Juice Plus boards, it's amazing. The company's done a really good job putting all this together, and they have everything you need right here. Um, between just all the product info, all the new things. They have indie conference. Typically, anything really important is going to be in this What's Hot folder. The Boost Your Business incentive they're having this summer, and then obviously Indie, which is our next big rock event, and the new partner success boxes that are available. So all the good things here. One last thing I do want to say while I have you guys on screen here is if you are local to St. Louis or anywhere near St. Louis, our Super Saturday is officially live. It's August 23rd, Saturday, August 23rd. So mark your calendar. It's from 9 to noon. However, from 9 to 10 is going to be the health talk that amazing Laura Dorsey is coming to host for us. She's going to talk all about the microbiome and the newly discovered world of postbiotics. She is going to sell out the crowd on Juice Plus. So if you have anyone, customers, prospects, partners, get them in the room for at least hearing Laura. If someone wants to only hear Laura, the tickets are $5, but we really encourage you to stay, obviously, the full 9 to noon. It's the day is going to be called Rooted in Belief from Gut Health to Growth, and the tickets are $20 for the whole day. So incredible speakers. But Laura, if you've never heard Laura, oh my gosh, you guys, I've been eating Juice Plus for 12 years, and when I hear Laura, I'm like still so mind blown on like how incredible this product is. And I know Laura does such an amazing job at really communicating that in the way she presents it. She's a physical therapist. She's been in the community for years. So mark your calendar, August 23rd. As soon as I said the Indy was our next big rock, I'm like, well, technically our Super Saturday is our next big rock. So those are the next events coming up. Whitney, thank you again so much for saying yes today. We appreciate you. And truly, we are going to be praying for you and cheering you on. If we can do anything, we've got lots of connections on our whole team. If you need any stories shared or people to jump in and help you out, we are here to help you. So
Thank you all. I
thank you
appreciate it.
for all of this today. It was so good. And like Carrie said, it's just you didn't say anything that we haven't heard before. It's just remembering that it's like staying consistent, finding what works for you, and knowing that seasons ebb and flow, and just embracing that season, but staying consistent in your own way. So I love
Yep.
that.
Yep. All right. Thank y'all for having
Okay.
me. Thank you for your prayers.
Thank
We're
you,
working
Whitney.
hard and trusting the Lord. So we'll see.
All right,
You
everyone.
got this,
come on.
Whitney.
Tell her that
Thank
we
you.
got
Oh,
this,
y'all.
girlfriend. No
Whitney.
worries. Good luck.
Thank you,
Pray for you.
Whitney.
Thank
She
you.